Okay, here is a look at my collection of bumblebees. And this is the last of my mini bot collection videos. And again, I'm doing this because I want to have reference for the figures that I have in my collection without having to dig open every single box to see what I have. And this helps to be able to visualize what I'm thinking about and maybe some comparisons. So with that said, let's start from the beginning. This is the original Bumblebee, but this is a reissue. So if you see that nice head, this looks like the cartoon. So Bumblebee started getting some love because it became popular. And this is really a nice toy. It gives a really nice nostalgic feel. And just a little history from me. I remember when these came out, there was always a debate whether or not these legs transformed individually or they pulled out as one. Well, they pull out individually. So just a little something interesting from my past. Then there was the CHUG. So Hasbro did make a Legends version of a CHUG. And CHUG at that time was basically remaking the original toys in their own version. So, it's not quite cartoon accurate, but, it has some cool designs. And I'm still really disappointed that they didn't make all the characters in the Legends size during the CHUG era because it's incomplete. And then let's move over here because there was the classics. This was the CHUG. But this one in particular is the Takara version, the United. So it has a nice gold plate finish to it. I want to point out some things about this figure because even though it doesn't look like the cartoon, this is really a nice figure. I mean, it's equivalent to the alternators and Binaltech because of the really ingenious transformation design. And as an example, those legs, they fold up to the car seats. It's so awesome. I really love this figure, but it just doesn't fit in with my collection. But that was CHUG. And then let's see, there was Masterpiece. So this was the first version of Bumblebee by Takara. I mean, this looks really cool. And you have to remember their first Masterpiece, they were based more off of a realistic design. So when you transform this really looked like a Volkswagen. Not really so much like the cartoon. But this was really a cool figure, like those feet. I wish they would have covered the front so no black was showing. But yeah, this was really cool at that time. And then, well, staying with Masterpiece, they did release the latest version of Bumblebee. Look at that. That looks like the cartoon. And this is really a nice figure. The dark gray instead of black. But there were definitely issues with the feet. But this is how I transformed it so it doesn't look as intrusive. And my biggest issue with this is the windows. Look at that. They did not use blue tinted windows, so this is not 100% cartoon accurate. And I wonder if that's done on purpose with maybe an intention to re-release this as a plus version. Who knows? And what's scary is their Cliff Jumper coming out, which is based off this mode. It looks like they're doing the same thing, not using light blue transparent windows. But anyways, hopefully, maybe Fans Toys will make their version of Bumblebee, since they are doing one of Cliff Jumper. Who knows? Okay, so now let's move back, because after CHUG, there was always the Legends. So this, the Legends, they're just a continuation of a remake of the original characters, but they just don't look good in my opinion. And the only reason why I got it, because I'm a completist, I was so looking forward to getting all the characters, despite the fact that they don't look cartoon accurate and they look this bad. But they didn't. So this one, they made Bumblebee, Cliff Jumper, Huffer, Wind Charger, and Gears. No Brawn. Brawn would come later, that looked a little bit better. And then there's the Takara version. So I just did the same thing, basically buying, hoping. And this has a nicer finish, but it's still the same. I mean, it just doesn't fit in anywhere. So I may actually pull all my Legends mini bots and might give those away. Okay, and then what? Then there was the War for Cybertron. Everyone seemed to really like this. This is the Netflix version. And it doesn't look like the G1 cartoon. I mean, it definitely looks like the War for Cybertron character, but that's not the aesthetic that I'm going for. But yeah, I have to admit, as a toy, this is really a nice figure. And unfortunately, when you put him together with the rest of the War for Cybertron figures, he's too big, in my opinion. Which is why I'm so thankful that a third-party company, this one right here, Mech Planet Hot Soldiers, look at that, made this version of Bumblebee. I mean, the blue windows, I mean, look at that. That really looks like the G1 Bumblebee. I just don't like the black shoulders and legs, because he should be a dark gray. Like that. But, you know, scale-wise, when you put him with the War for Cybertron figure, fits in perfectly. So, yeah, that's what I'm using. And before that, I was thinking that this fourth party, a KO of a third party figure by New Age, was gonna, you know, fit the job, but, you know, it looks cool, but, you know, let's face it, he looks like he's a little chunky. Looks like he gained some weight. And just to let you know, this is KBB. I don't really know the name, but this is a KO of New Age's first version of Bumblebee, which I actually gave away to members of the Transformer Hangout group on Facebook. And then, let's see, Hasbro's up to it again. They're just making another version of a Bumblebee. And this one's smaller, a Legend scale, which, I don't know why I got it. Especially look at those wings on his shoulder. I mean, it just doesn't fit in anywhere. And then, I do want to point out, this is really cool though. I mean, it's not like they're gonna make all of the Cybertronian vehicles like Wheeljack and Jazz. But this is really nice. This just gives a different feel to your collection. It's like, feels like it comes out right out of that cartoon. And I love the window, transparent blue. I really love this. Doesn't fit in anywhere really, but it's really nice. And it's nice in the alt mode, not robot mode, so that's really cool. And then we have the mini masterpiece by New Age and Magic Square. So like I said, New Age did their first version, Herbie, I think, which was this, which looked like this, but much smaller. But New Age decided to remake it, and they did make it look a little bit better. I mean, look at that, for Legends, so small. Look at how nice this looks. I just wish they would have painted that center blue to make it more a cohesive rectangle blue window. But this is really a nice figure. He does suffer from those foot like the masterpiece. And then Magic Square, which I mean, those hips look good, but I gotta be honest, this isn't really that great, especially compared to New Age. Especially their cliff jumper with the red forearms. That's not cartoon accurate, and they know that. But, you know, being a completist, collecting all the Magic Square and New Age, you just have to take what you get from them. So, that's it. This is my collection of Bumblebee. Not conclusive, because as I'm sure you know, there are many different other iterations of Bumblebee that I did not go over. But this is what I have in my collection, and this is the last of my mini-bot videos, so I'll just move on to making other videos. Okay, I forgot to add this figure to my Bumblebee collection, and that's because there was actually no room on the shelf, and I actually forgot, so I'm just doing this one on its own. And want to point out, I did have the Titans Return version of it, but this one here is the Takara version, which, you know, you can see the difference, and you know, the transparent, a hint of light blue, and they actually give you a little mini Spike figure, which makes it really nice, but compared to all the other Bumblebees, it doesn't make sense, because look at his his shoulders are yellow and his forearms are black. It should actually be the other way around. Black shoulders are actually dark gray and yellow forearms. So, and this is the only figure that's of Bumblebee that's like that, ironically. But you know, this was still a nice figure, and when I'm thinking about the War for Cybertron, they all fit nicely in this scale, this larger Legend scale, even though it's not cartoon accurate. But there are War for Cybertron figures that are not cartoon colored accurately too, like that second version of Red Alert, which I don't remember, but I know the colors are off, and even the Legacy skid. So this would actually, I think, fit in nice with the War for Cybertron. And more importantly, I'm gonna be giving this one away also. I mean, it's a nice Bumblebee face. Not cartoon accurate, but nice. So that's that. Like I said, I already gave away the Titans Return version of Bumblebee. And so now I'm going to be giving away the Takara Tomy versions, which is the Legends version. So that's it for my Bumblebee collection.